All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Coming to you live here from Dice Tower Con 2018, bringing you board game coverage all weekend long. First up, though, I'm Matt with Twist Gaming, and I'm joined here with Jason from Big Kid Games.
What's up, Matt?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Awesome. Yeah, a little tired, a little worn out.
Day one.
Day one, man.
You gonna
out
make
of
it
the
through
gate.
the weekend?
Think so.
Okay, good.
I'm joining with my family, so
I mean,
kind of brightens the spirits a little bit.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, con life can be lonely life sometimes. So having the family with you.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff here on the table. So you brought a game to show off here.
Plethora of things.
Exactly.
Plethora of wood bits.
A lot of bits. So what game is this?
So this is Montana. Montana is by Rudiger Dorn. If you're familiar with the name, he did Istanbul, Karuba, Steam Time. His latest release was Luxor by Queen Games. Award-winning designer. Montana was his SN17 release, and we actually brought it to North America. It was originally published by White Goblin Games, a European publisher.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, we brought it here, so this is our deluxe version called the Heritage Edition.
So this is safe to say that this is a Euro game then?
It is a Euro game, yes, sir. Yeah, so you want me to tell you all about it?
Please. So what kind of game are we looking at here with Montana?
Yeah, so Montana at its heart is worker placement, some resource management going on. A little bit of city building kind of thing where we're going to be basically building our settlements, placing tiles out onto the landscape board.
Okay.
And it's a race game in a sense because the player to build all of their settlements first is going to win the game.
So we're like colonizing the Midwest.
Yep,
then,
this
I
is
guess?
1850 Montana, 1851 maybe, something like that. It's funny that a European designer designed the game
From Montana.
of a U.S. state.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, that's
I mean,
it.
I'm not even that familiar with the history of Montana, so.
Well, yeah. Well, it's all about the cows, apparently. Cows and pumpkins. I'll tell you that in a minute.
Sounds like a party.
All right. So, players are. It's interesting because Rudiger Dorn brought back the spinner. We have a spinner in the game. So this is how workers are generated.
Spinner was so
by
big
spinning
back
the
in
wheel.
day.
Heck yeah, man. So players are actually going to spin the wheel twice to start off with 4 workers.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I spun and I got a brown and an orange. So and let's just say that
So I see you're saying brown and orange, but I would like to point out here that there are symbols associated with all the colors, and that's kind of a big deal here for us at Twist Gaming. One of our key members of the team is colorblind, so seeing the symbology, distinct
Yeah,
symbology
sure.
for each of those is pretty awesome.
yeah, it does show above the meeple what good they're associated with.
So these two colors that you did land on, what do those represent? It looks like a pumpkin on the right.
Absolutely, a pumpkin, and then the brown hexagon is copper, or is that an octagon?
It's six.
Yeah,
yeah,
hexagon.
It's a
So
hexagon.
yeah, so we have, and then if you twist around, we have twist, get it?
Yeah.
We have grain and stone,
Okay.
and those are the 4 goods.
And then we've got randoms.
Yep.
Randoms,
So
or is that wild
the
cards?
white meeple is representing your choice. So if you land there, you can choose 2 workers of your choice, and that's it.
Very good, and just different combinations of all of those.
Absolutely,
going around
different
the
combinations.
wheel.
No duplicate combination, I guess you should say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so once you gather your 4 starting workers, and the cool thing about this game is everything on your player board, there's a place for everything. It shows you where all your goods go. It shows you where your money goes. It shows you where your tiles go. And your cows even are in the pen. Your workers, you have a maximum of 8 workers that you can have. If you do get a canteen in the game, it shows you that it goes on your little dude's belt.
That's awesome.
How awesome is that? And then even informative, all your information is on your board as well.
It's so awesome that it's not just a place for the things, but it's a thematic place
Yeah.
for the things. Like it's on his
That's
belt.
right.
There's the little thing of pumpkins over there.
Right,
There's the
little-
pen that the cows are in.
It's awesome.
But also, we really love seeing the information printed on the boards like that there, just because quick reference guides, stuff
Sure.
like that is so nice, just when you don't have to crack open the rule book every 5 minutes to clarify what something means.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it does, based on player count, you're going to have a different number of tiles in the game. So it shows you 2 players, you have 12 tiles, 3 is 10, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
The starting player gets $3, and then $1 more for every subsequent player there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then all your actions up here up top. And to briefly go over those, you can do one of 3 things on your turn.
Easy enough.
You can generate more workers, hire more workers by spinning the wheel. Roman numeral 1, it says get those 2 workers. And then next, if you have some grain, which actually we were supposed to, all the players start off with 1 of each good. Put those on here real quick.
So we would each have one of these boards.
That's exactly right. This is a player board. You have blue, red, yellow, green, and you would have all your stuff on your board there. Yeah, so if you, after you spin the wheel, if you are going to get more workers on your turn, you can pay a grain and advance the wheel 1 space to the right and actually acquire those 2 workers as well. So you would get 4 workers instead of 2 by paying a grain.
Because, you're feeding the family, right?
I guess so, man. Hey, you workers like to eat.
Yeah, that's true. Work up an appetite.
Especially if you're going to go pick grain in the farmland over here, in the fields. Yep, and so secondly, you can, on your turn, you can send those workers to work, right? So you just got some workers, but on your next turn, you can send them to work on the worker board here. I'll go over that here in a second. And then thirdly, you can use your turn to place settlement tiles out in the landscape board. And that's done by simply paying the goods that are shown in that spot, in that location. You'll pay that, and then you're able to place a settlement there.
Oh, okay. So, for example, this one up here might be a little tough to see, but that's 2 grain and 1 stone?
That's right.
Okay.
And you would be able to place one there. So initial settlements have to be placed adjacent to the starting tile, these little wagons here. But once one is out, then players can place settlements adjacent to anybody's settlement or the starting tile. So even though you would be, let's just say, red, you could build here next to the blue because it's adjacent to a settlement.
So you just have to branch out from that central point.
Yeah. You just can't have it out in the middle of nowhere because you have to be able to get there, I guess, through, whatever.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you pay the goods, and you'll be able to build there. You'll notice some cows out here on the board. If you build a settlement where there is a cow, you'll be able to get that cow and put them in your pen. And you'll have cows to spin on your turn. I'll go over that action in a second.
We could spin the cows? The cows are like a currency?
So it's called a cattle trade. So you can trade the cow in. Yeah, actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you now. On your turn, as a free action, you can trade the cow in for 1 good of your choice, $3, or a worker of your choice. And you can spend, or trade in, I should say, any number of cows on your turn that you want. So you could go for 5 and just make this crazy combination of a turn.
So cows are kind of the jack of all trade of resources there.
Absolutely. They'll get you what you want. And kind of along that same regard there, along the same path, if you are the first player to build adjacent to a body of water, all the bodies of water have a canteen on the board. It could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3. Just depends on the board setup. It is a modular setup, a random setup at the beginning based on player count as well. So if you were to build adjacent to the body of water, you would get that canteen. And that canteen you could use on your turn, anytime on your turn, to turn it into basically do a second action. It's like another turn for free, basically.
Gotcha. And you could bank that and use it when it's
Absolutely.
most appropriate for
Absolutely. And you can have more than 1 canteen as well. So if you had several cows and a canteen or 2, you could make this big, crazy, long turn, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. So basically, it's a race game. The first player to place all their settlements out on the board is gonna trigger the end game, and you'll finish out the round, and the player with the most settlements wins. It actually comes down to a tie quite often, and if that's the case, then the player with the most cows and canteens is gonna win. And if there's still a tie, which happens, the player with the most money and goods and workers would win the game.
Gotcha.
So how workers acquire goods is out here on the worker board. You have the mines, the quarry, the fields, the farmland, and even a bank where you can get some more money. And then you have the city, which is like an auctioning thing I'll discuss in a second. So it shows you here that so the colors of the workers actually mean something. They are somewhat location specific, these workers. For instance, the brown goes to get copper. The brown guy will bring back copper. The gray guy will bring back stone. So forth and so on.
So they're color matched to their resources.
Exactly.
Then.
Yeah, the orange would grab the pumpkins, right? So it shows you here that if I place a guy here and I'm going to pay him $1, I'd pay $1 off my board, then he's going to come back with 2 pumpkins. Okay?
Minimum wage is getting lower and lower.
I know, man. And each of these locations has 3 worker placement spots that you can place your workers. So you could go to any one of these 3. You can go here and pay $1 for 2, go here and pay $3 for 3, or 6 for 4. And this game is a very efficiency-based game. So the more efficient you are on your turn, the better you're going to do.
Right.
So it's still requiring you only the single worker, but you're paying him more money to bring you back more goods, right? So you're getting more bang for your buck on that one action of your turn. Additionally, you can choose to take advantage of the adjacent spot here. It shows that if you place a second guy, then you're going to get one more of that good. So you don't have to pay any more money, but it's costing you one more good. Again, it's more efficient on your turn, right?
That's a bargain right there.
Oh yeah. The cool thing about the games too is if let's just say, like once you place your workers, they stay. Okay, They don't come back. You do not retain workers. They do not come back to you. And once this farmland gets filled up, like just say someone goes here and then finally somebody goes here. When all the locations are filled, they'll wipe away, and then now it's available again to place.
Oh, so you're forced to fill up the entire thing.
Yep. You cannot.
Which would be like the kind of diminished returns there. So paying $6 for 4 pumpkins versus $1 for 2 pumpkins.
Yep. You do have the options on how much you want to spend and how much you want to get back. So you'll notice also that on all these spaces, even though I said the workers were location specific, let's just say I don't have any orange guys and I really want a pumpkin, or I need a pumpkin to do something. It shows you 2 little white icons of a meeple here on all these spaces. And so if you don't have one orange, you can pay 2 of any color. Again, less efficient, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I could send these 2 guys here, and I could still get this 1 pumpkin.
So it could be just any 2 meeples.
Yeah, any
doesn't
mix of 2.
require them to be the same color.
Exactly. It could be 2 brown, or brown and the gray, anything like that. And that's how all these locations work in the same way. Once they're all filled up, they wipe. That area will be available again. The bank, you can get money by going to the bank. This one is 1 worker, 2 workers, 2 workers, and 3 workers, and that's any color, any combination. They're the white workers, so whatever you want to pay, and you'll get the money shown there. So 6, 8, 10, or 12 bucks. Yeah. So you're going to have to constantly be hiring more workers throughout the game because you're going to be sending them to work, and they don't come back because you're not paying them enough. Apparently, they just want to go away.
Hazardous conditions.
It's a little hot. The last section of the board is the city, which you'll notice on this landscape tile. Some of these icons show a stone and copper with a yellow arrow and a yellow outline.
Yeah.
That's denoting that they're the large stone and the large copper, which are these sizes here, which are bigger, much bigger than the smaller pieces that here. So you can kind of see the size difference. And the only way to get the large stone and the large copper is by going to the city, by sending your contractor. This is you. You're the one hiring all the workers. You're hiring the workers, and you're sending them to work. But also, you can send this guy to the city to bid on upgrade actions.
Okay.
So bidding on upgrade actions is the only way you can increase the size of your stone and copper. Basically, you're going to trade in 1 small copper for 1 big copper with these upgrade actions. So I just to briefly go over them. Like some of them give you 2 upgrade actions, some of them give you 3. You can get a cow with this one. You can get money with this one. Anyway, you're going to bid pumpkins of all things. I don't know what it is about 1850 Montana and pumpkins, but apparently it was significant.
I mean, who doesn't like pumpkins?
You know.
Pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin
I
pie.
think that's the only good thing I know with pumpkins. But, you know.
Hitting pumpkins with bats. I don't know.
Maybe they were really big into building jack-o'-lanterns in Montana.
That could be. Yeah, that's a fun pastime.
The 1850s, it's a fun pastime.
So you'll up top, it'll show you which row, I guess, or column.
Yeah.
You would bid that number of pumpkins. So we have a bid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pumpkins, and you would choose which row that you want to go on based on the reward or the action that you're going to get at the end.
Okay.
It shows you also here the first player to start the bid is going to get a free pumpkin, and it kind of makes sense because whenever you do the auction, you're actually going. It's basically your turn. Let's just say it's my turn. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go here to bid 3 pumpkins to get a cow and 3 upgrade actions. So that's costing me my turn, but you now have the option to bid. So you could bid, and then green could bid, and then
and that would
red
require
could
my
bid.
turn to bid on there to try.
That's
to
not your
outbid you on
turn.
the
It's
track.
my turn. So it's kind of like a turn interrupt.
Gotcha.
It's an interrupt. So you would do your thing, and then we would go around the table, and then when the bidding is done, the auction is resolved. Now it's your turn because that was my turn. kind of a fun little interrupt. So you get to piggyback off of the auction and get some things if that's what you want to do.
So I could kind of step on your toes in your auction.
You could,
and go
yeah,
in there
and you could even outbid me too. So if I bid 3 here, you could outbid me at 4, and then I'm forced to do something else. I have to either outbid you or just go somewhere else, or I can just pass altogether. So yeah, that's how you can get some extra goods and even money or a cow. But more importantly, that's the upgrade action that you need to take to get the large stone and copper to be able to build in some of these locations. And you'll notice that some of these territories with the lighter grass, a lot of them do require the large stone and the large copper. But you'll notice there's 2 house icons here, little two buildings, and that's showing you that you get to place 2 settlements there when you build instead of just 1.
Ooh.
So it's 2 for 1, which is kind of cool.
You build a nice little city there.
Heck yeah, that's the capital of our town.
What's your town called? Don't say Montana.
I almost did. Montanaville, Montana.
I like it.
That's
Perfect.
it. That's it. A little bonus can be done if you build 4 settlements in a row. If you're able to build a contiguous line of 4 settlements, then you get to place a 5th one on top of that 4th one for free. So anytime throughout the game, even if you had 2 and then a space and then 1, and then you were able to fill in that line with the 4th to complete 4 in a line, then you would get to place a 5th one on top of there for free.
So to clarify, though, you're saying it has to be a straight line. So
Absolutely.
I can't go
let's
1,
just
2,
say,
3, and then down 1 there.
Let's say you built here and here, and then there were some other settlements here, and you built the blue here.
Yeah.
And if later on, if you came back and you added 1 here, then it would be a 2 for 1 because it was a line of 4.
So the last one that you place is the one that gets doubled up.
Absolutely. And if that were the scenario down here where the 2 houses were right, where we just built these 2, and it was in a 4, then it would be you could place 3 there.
Oh, wow.
That's a big time move. Yeah, so you're the game is you are trying to kind of maybe set up for these big moves, these combinations with your cows, with your canteens. If this were the case, if a line of 4 was going to be completed, more than not, you're going to get blocked. Another player is going to block you where you can't do that. So it's kind of fun. But yeah, it's a good time. You're just basically choosing what action you want to do. They're very fast turns. It's a very quick game. 30 to 45 minutes tops, even at max player count of 4 players.
Wow.
Yeah, very fast.
That's very fast considering the amount of meat that seems to be in
yeah,
this game
it packs a punch for a short amount of time, which is a fun, palpable wait and time. So it's a good time.
So what would you say your favorite aspect of Montana is? The game, not the state.
I like Montana because of all the pumpkins.
Oh.
No, that's okay. So the game, I like it because of how fast it is. It's a quick play, but it's got some good weight to it for the amount of play that it is. But I also like it's kind of fun because whenever you spin the wheel to get workers, it's kind of a random thing.
Yeah.
It can be mitigated by paying grain and getting more workers. So you're kind of when you have these workers that you were randomly that you spun the wheel to get, you're kind of like, okay, now how am I going to use these to make best use of what I'm trying to do out here?
Right.
And it's just that's the fun thing to me is because based on what other players are doing as well, you see what goods they have. You can kind of see probably where they're trying to build. You're trying to kind of block
Get in
things.
their heads a little bit.
It's a good time. So it's just fun, quick strategy changes and trying to figure out the best way to get all your settlements out there and be the main clan in Montana.
King of Montana.
That's it.
Sounds good. So where can we find Montana?
Yeah, Montana is actually on its way now to the States. It's on the boat, taking the big boat ride. And so it'll be available probably 2 to 3 months from now in retail stores. Yep.
Sounds good. So you can get it just in time for the holiday season.
Absolutely.
To
just
gift
in
to
time
your
for
friends and
Thanksgiving.
family. Gobble, gobble.
Because
You
it's
can
all
get
about pumpkins.
Pumpkin pie.
All about them pumpkins and brown and tan stuff and gray stuff, right?
So what's the price point?
It's $59.99 MSRP.
There's a lot of meeples in that for that price.
It's over 200 wooden bits.
Is it really that many? That's impressive.
Yeah, there's 18 of each worker color, 24 of the small goods, 12 of the big goods, 24 cows. A lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. 4 of these little dudes, contractor dudes.
Sounds good. So what else is going on at Big Kid Games that's coming through the pipeline? Maybe we can...
Yeah. So we actually just wrapped up a campaign in March, ended in April, for a game called Sweet Mess.
Sweet. I think I've heard about that.
Oh
one.
yeah, so we had it has some nice. The player trays are done by Game Trays,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was kind of a big popular buzz. People
yeah.
loved the player trays where they had like flipping tiles and things that you were trying to do. But the game is you're a chef in a baking competition trying to complete recipes, baking desserts. To be the most awarded chef, I guess you could say, in this competition.
That sounds right up my alley. I'm gonna have to play that at some point.
So it's funny because Montana is a little lighter than it looks, but Sweet Mess is much heavier than it looks.
Oh, that's
based
funny.
on the art and the theme. People are like, "Oh, that's such a cute game. Let's sit down and play." And they're like,
This is so much heavier than I
they're
thought.
like, "Wait," because it's a heavier, more Euro-y version of Splendor. Basically, with you have a lot more options on your turn, a lot of things are going on. But big chunky wooden bits for the ingredients and yeah, a lot of fun stuff going on.
Awesome.
That's in production right now. It'll be available early next year, and yeah, we have some good things coming up, man. Just stay tuned to Big Kid Games. We actually just launched a sister company, an imprint brand called Penguin and Panda Productions.
Penguin and Panda Productions. That's a lot of P's.
It's a lot of P's. My friends make fun and say P and PP and P's and PPP.
So it's a lot of black and white animals in there.
It
too.
is.
So what
It's
kind of games would Penguin and Panda be
So,
putting out?
so Big Kid Games, we publish games that are with themes that are suitable for all ages. You know, kind of accessible games, so to speak, right? Accessible to families and that kind of thing, family-friendly stuff. Penguin and Panda is a brand to carry heavier themed games. So
Okay.
maybe like some monsters and some fantasy and this kind of thing, where our Big Kid Games normally wouldn't be happening. So
Gotcha. So a little bit more of the maybe a little bit more blood in the games. A little bit more
killing
violence.
monsters, some
Yeah.
blood, some sweet things like that going on. And because we're as gamers, we love those kind of games,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
so it's fun to be able to have a company to make those games as well, right? And we have some solid games coming in the future from those.
Anything you want to share with us from Penguin and Panda?
So the first game launches this fall. It's called Onimaru.
Onimaru.
Onimaru is a cooperative dice placement game.
Okay.
So we are Eastern mythological heroes like samurai and magical Chinese Wu-Jin characters, and we are trying to best place our dice to kill the central Oni. So here's the cool thing about the game. It's a cooperative game, and we're trying to cooperatively kill this Oni, this big boss,
Yeah.
but we can't attack this guy until we first individually get through our own little set of hordlings. This Oni is sending out monsters, and so each one of us are faced with these bad guys.
So we're trying to get
and
to
I
our
can't
own
attack him until I get through my
personal
own.
things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then-
So maybe you only have one minion on you, and we all have like 3 or 4. Well, we're gonna try to help you kill that guy, so you can go and attack this guy, right? So it's a round to round, just how best to do this thing, because it's dice. The shuriken is one side of the die. And you can't use the shuriken on your own monsters, right? So you can share them with other players and to have them kill their monsters.
So it's like a forced helping element
Yeah,
there to
it's
kind of
fun.
force you to play a little bit more cooperatively.
It's a fun time. So we're looking forward to that one.
So those demons, I could see, are the reason that we're looking at a little bit more of the mature theme.
Sure. Yeah. Right. I can. We can show a box art if you want to, real quick.
Sure.
In the little close-up cam.
Sneak peek here, folks.
Here's first the logo, and then just slide
Oh,
right.
that's adorable.
Penguin and Panda.
So go from right to left. That's what we're...
Hit it. Go right.
Oh, okay.
That'll show you the Onimaru box.
Ooh. Well, that's pretty looking.
So that is coming this October.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's, the art is gorgeous. The heroes are amazing. It's like a Samurai Jack comic book style art, right? And actually, there are going to be comic books in the game.
Oh, really?
So there's a base game. The main way to play is killing 3 Oni in 10 days, or 7 days based on player count. But you can also go through scenarios, and those scenarios are presented to you through a comic book, the backstory and everything that leads up to the what you're trying to do. So that's gonna be fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a unique way of showing it off, too.
Yeah, I love comic books, so I thought that was fun.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us today, taking the time to show off
Yeah,
the
man.
games from Big Kid Games and from Penguin and Panda.
Absolutely, no joke. My favorite color is purple.
Oh, then you're
I kid you
at
not.
home then,
I
right?
kid you not.
I don't know if we have enough purple in the room. What do you think?
That's the walls and the ceiling are not purple, so this is a problem.
We'll work on it for next time. Thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
down.
man. Thanks for having me.
Really do appreciate it. Thank all of you for watching at home. This is going to conclude our presentation here at Dice Tower Con 2018 for today, but tune in tomorrow for more coverage, and more coverage the rest of this weekend. But signing off for now, I'm Matt. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.